What is up, fight fans? This is Prizepicks, the experts. We're doing quick picks today. Remember, promo code 3XPERTS. Let's get into it, boys. Next
Get that
slide.
free money, baby.
Free money, free money. All right, first fight, we got a submission master, the one, the only, the Bear Jew, Paul Craig versus Volkan Ozdemir. We've got a great fight. What we thinking, boys?
Incredible fight. Really looking forward to this one to kick off the main card. Ozdemir and Craig, some great legends. In this one, have got Ozdemir significant strikes under 36.5. I think Paul Craig is really going to be able to put his weight on him, force him around the octagon, and get his traditional submission in the first 2 rounds. So I don't think he's going to be standing there striking, and that's my pick right there. What you got, Maz?
I think Paul Craig's got a good chance of winning this with a submission, but I think he's going to take some punishment from Ozdemir before that happens. And I know he doesn't get above significant strikes much, but I think it happens this round or this fight.
You know, Paul Craig's never been touched up over 40.5 times, which was the initial line. Really, he's gotten around 36.5. I like the under here. I like a KO first round for Volkan. Paul Craig's going to catch the smoke.
Hey, don't be talking about the Bear Jew like that. But without a doubt, moving on to the crowd's probably second main event of this fight, we got Molly the Meatball versus Hannah Goldie, 2 absolute bombs in this women's weight division. I'm going to go with the first big upset of the night. There's heavy Vegas odds on this one, some crazy betting lines going on. But I think out of all the local fighters, out of all the Europe breed, I think Molly, unfortunately, is going to drop this one. I think Hannah Goldie is just incredible with her strikes. I think she's going to be able to move around. I mean, it's going to be a great fight. Who knows either way? But I think if there's an upset on this card, unfortunately, I think it's going to be not in Molly the Meatball's favor.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I like Molly to take it down and get over two takedowns. That's my prize pick. I like her to win by decision. I think it's going to be ugly. She has been losing. She does start slow, but I think the crowd gets behind her. I think Hannah Goldie's just the inexperience and just not the fighter on all ends. So I'm not seeing I can't see which way Hannah Goldie wins, but I do like Molly McCann. I like her by decision, and I like her over 1.5 takedowns.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Brad Chubb. I'm going to go with Cole here. I think the O2 Arena in London is going to be popping. She's the first trio of where this card was pretty much built around. I think she's going to get 81 significant strikes easy. This fight's going to go into decision. I think she's having it, but I think Hannah could have a shot, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight.
And Jake, if
that
you
hometown crowd.
And if we're wrong, you're a lot richer and a lot smarter than us. So
absolutely. I just think, I mean, always trying to look for those value plays. I think on this card, out of the 3 hometown favorites, I think she's realistically in this matchup the most likely to drop. Right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next fight of the night, the third fight on the main card. This is going to be a good one. We got 2 dudes that have been struggling in their last couple of fights. Both of these guys are going to be looking to get their hand raised, and Alexander Gustafsson and Nikita Krylov. I really think that Gustafsson's time has passed. I think the sport has kind of just moved on. He's been inactive. And I know that's tough to say, and that's a hard thing to do because he's a great fighter, and I grew up watching this guy. One of the main guys that I remember when I first started getting the UFC back in 2015 was up there at the top of the light heavyweight division. But unfortunately, I think his time has come and gone, and I think Nikita's going to get this one. I think he's going to get it by knockout in the first 2 rounds, and my prize pick is fight time under 10 minutes. Boys, what do you got? You going to fade me again?
Under 10 minutes, I actually really like. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like this fight's just – for some reason, I think we see a little Alexander rewind here. I think he actually catches him. I think somehow – I mean, he hasn't won since 2017, so this is probably not a great pick. But I actually have –
5 years.
I have trust in him. I think he's been training, like you said, Mazio. He's been training with a good team. I mean, he's been putting in work with all them boys. So – I'm going to go Alexander, and I like the under on his fantasy score. I think anytime you can get a fantasy score that high, I like it.
Yeah, this fight's not going to the 3rd round, and like Cole, I do like Gustafsson. He's a former legend. He's past his prime, but he's been training with Kamzat and the All-Stars training gym in Switzerland or wherever it is. I think it's time for him to have a KO.
I mean, he's been getting the shit beat out of him by Kamzat in the All-Star training gym. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think, I don't know, he tried going up to heavyweight, kind of got crushed there, so he's back down. I think he's motivated. He's got a couple dubs left in him, and I think this is one of them. And he's an underdog too, which I love.
Walking around 240, cutting to 205. He's looking a little puffy. I don't know. I think he should just stick to the Swedish meatballs and just call it a day.
And we got right here. We got Team Twerk versus Team Teabag right here.
Yes, sir.
Patty the Batty will come out hot. Patty Batty is going to be the main event for a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of people turn their TVs off probably after this because he is that polarizing. And I like him to win. I like him to KO. Jordan Levitt, though, this is a tough fight. This isn't a traditional set up your big fighter to win big. Jordan Levitt is pretty good. He's 10-1, but I like Patty to Batty it's kind of better grappling. You can't outpower. If he keeps the distance and don't let those leg kicks, I think he hammers that 96.5 fantasy points over, pieces him up in the first or second round, gets a KO, gets the crowd rolling. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
take it away.
I like Patty's over and strikes because I was looking at the significant strikes landed per minute. He's sitting at about 6.1 and Jordan's at 2.5. I think automatic advantage in the striking category. Weigh-ins this morning, he was pretty motivated and pissed off at everyone. He said he couldn't cut weight or either fat shaming or this and that. He's fired up. I think we see a knockout round 2 or 3, but after the significant strikes have gone above 48.
I think we both win there.
If we get I think these guys are pretty evenly matched, like you said. I mean, they're both accurate with their hands. I think there's a little bit of animosity playing into this one, which is not something that we've seen on any other fight on this card. I think the crowd's really going to play a big role in this one. I think that Patty, when he's in that octagon with that London crowd behind him, he thinks and he knows that he is the most unstoppable force in the entire world. And so I think that's really going to give him a lot of power to come through. I think they're going to trade back and forth, feel each other out. I do think Patty's going to get the knockout, but hopefully it's in the second round, and hopefully it's after he's already got 48 significant strikes. I think this should be a great fight, and we'll see who's coming out on top, Team Teabag or Team Twerk. It'll be good. All right, we're moving right along.
Journeyman himself. Chris Curtis.
The co-main event of the evening. Look at that guy. Absolute dog. We got 2 dogs in this one. Chris Curtis coming in last minute to take the place of the
Darren Till.
The unfortunate Darren Till, who can't seem to keep himself healthy or get in the octagon. I don't know if motivation's a factor in this one. But yeah, I think this is going to be an incredible fight against 2 dudes that have no give in them. Both these guys got chins. I think Chris Curtis coming in here, this is pretty evenly matched. This one's hard to tell where it goes, which is why it's great to have a website such as Prizepicks, code 3XPERTS. Get your money matched. But when you can't decide money line, over, under, or whether you're going with a submission or takedown, go on Prizepicks, hit some of these lines. I think this one's going to be a good technical fight. That's why I'm going over 12.5 minutes, but I think Chris Curtis is going to get the win.
Hey,
Violent man.
If you're someone who loves storylines, you love Chris Curtis. He's fought 8 times in the last 16 months. He's retired 3 separate times. His last retirement, he literally retired because he wasn't getting a chance with the UFC. He felt like he earned it, wasn't getting it. They finally gave him a chance, and now he's on a 4-0 run, and I think he wins again here. I think he wins by decision, which is why I like the striking game. I think he hits that over at 63.5. I do think Hermansson is a tough fight, but his last 3 fights are people who like to go to the ground and who like to kind of grapple. So he has had the training camps 3 times in a row, and I like it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cole, there. I think Action Man Chris Curtis is the journeyman of the century at this point. He's earned a spot here. He's a good chin. I think this fight's going to go to distance, I think, and he's going to get those strikes. But I'm only choosing Curtis over Hermansson's last fight, where he got outworked by recently endless weasel Sean Strickland. But I think Chris Curtis has a chance. But this fight is a toss-up for sure. It can go either way, but I think the strikes are a safe bet and the fight time.
Yeah, this should be like one of the more technical, even matchups of the evening. So definitely a good one to kind of sit back and dive into before we get to our main event fight of this fight night card, this UFC fight night London card. Ecstatic, incredible. Reminder, like last week, fight does not, it's UK time, so we're starting at 3 p.m., kicking off the prelims. And our main card 3 p.m., prelims 12 p.m. Eastern time. So tune into that and make sure you're ready to roll. But I mean, we come into this main event fight, Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. Everybody knows these two guys in the heavyweight division. They're Curtis Blades, recent gatekeeper. He's fought every single person in the top 10 once, if not multiple times. And Tom Aspinall, really, in his last couple fights, making a name for himself. And I think this is going to be an incredible fight. I'm a little biased. I think Curtis Blades, as a gatekeeper, has had a lot of time in the ring, but I think Aspinall wants it a little bit more. And so I think he's going to come in here with something to prove. I think it's going to be a good fight. I actually might end up fading myself on this one because in the heavyweights, they're swinging for the fences in the first 2 rounds. And as we know, cardio isn't their best friend. So I'm going to go with 43.5 significant strikes over. I think it could easily be the under. What do you all have to think on this one?
You kind of made my point for me. They're swinging for the fences in the first 2 rounds. Anytime you can get a 15-minute line in a heavyweight fight, I'd be remiss if I didn't take it. So under 15 minutes for me. I'd be by the way.
I like the over in this. I think at this point it'll be the final fight of the night. I think Meatball Molly and Patty the Batty will be front row watching, cheering them on after their hopeful dubs. If we chose right, this is without a doubt his hardest challenge of his career for Aspinall. But like Bradshaw was saying, he's literally Curtis's keeper of the gates at the top 5. He's been there for honestly. He's fought in Gandhi twice. He's been favorites in both fights, which is wild to me. I think I got Aspinall over because I think he has the potential to reach it, break into the top 5. But this is a toss-up. Curtis Blades is a dog, even though he got knocked out really bad by Derek Lewis about a year and a half ago. But this, if Tom wants it in the arena and he feels it in the arena and the atmosphere, I think he has this fight. He's a little more well-rounded. He has little submissions to it. But yeah, I like this. 10 minutes. So there's going to be, I'm hoping the significant strikes happen, but I think the fight times are a good lock too.
Kudos to my man Cole for pulling out that pick. I think that's honestly the best one on your screen right now. Curtis Blades been using his hands a little bit more, and we all know he's a wrestler. Both these guys are good on the ground, but I don't think he's going to want to be on the ground grappling with Aspinall with all the threats that he has. So I think they're going to stand and bang. And I think that 43.5 significant strikes is also probably as a second a pretty good pick. So we're going to move right along to our flex play and our power play payouts. Cole, will you tell the people how they can make some money using these flex plays and these power plays?
Of course,
this is where the smart money comes from.
Flex plays, you got a little insurance, so you don't have to go 3 for 3, 4 for 4, or 5 for 5. You can see the payouts if you hit in each scenario on your screen. And then in terms of power plays, they're going to be your traditional parlay. So you can do either 2, 3, or 4. You can see the payouts, but essentially you don't have that insurance play. You essentially have to hit everything you put. And obviously the multipliers are going to be big. The prizes are going to be bigger. So definitely worth a flex play and a power play, each card or each play, just because you don't want to miss out on those earnings. And if you're really confident in one, you can go all in with the power play.
Absolutely. Definitely sprinkle that money around. Throw $10 on a flex play or a power play. Just see what happens. Take your 3 favorite picks. That's kind of my strategy with doing it. And this one, for my flex play, I'm going to go. So I've got 3 of the same picks in each. And then in the flex play, I've added an additional pick just because, like Cole said, we got free insurance. Not a lot of things are free in this world. Like I said last week, take that insurance. Going Patty over 47.5. Aspinall over 43.5, Craig under 40.5, Kirilov under 10 minutes, and Curtis under 12.5 minutes. We got 4 picks right there. I think those are all pretty solid. And then we're coming back with the power play. Craig under 40.5 significant strikes, Patty over 47.5 strikes, and Aspinall over 43.5 significant strikes. Lots of great fights on this card. Really excited for this one. But that's where I think the money's at.
Yeah, as you see, you probably won't recognize some of these names on the screen. That is because we've taken some from the prelims. I really like
Prelims are big.
Over 53.5 significant strikes if he can avoid an early knockout by the other opponent, I think, or the early takedown submission. He's going to piece this man up. It'll go the distance. I like 53.5. DKC over 2 takedowns. This is a guy who had 11 takedowns in his last fight. So DKC with the line
Insane
of 2,
numbers.
I'd be remiss if I didn't take it, especially against someone with no takedown defense. Molly McCann over 1.5 takedowns, and Krylov under 90.5 significant strikes. And then I really like the power play 3-time. Just the 2 most confident picks I've got. I'm going to go with Mason Jones over 53.5 and DKC. Well, how do you pronounce it again? I'm definitely DKC over 2 takedowns. I knew I was not pronouncing it, but I'm not an expert in language. I'm an
red
expert
hair
with the
don't
picks.
care.
Yeah. For me, yes, I got Mark DeCasey over 50.5 strikes. He's a heavy favorite against Demir.
Minus 360.
And that's like Meatball Molly, as I said earlier, her over. I think it's going to go to decision. I think she'll get her strikes regardless if she wins or not. Patty's motivated, and there'll be some back and forth between his opponent, between Jordan and him. So I'd like the over in that. And I like Aspinall over 43.5. It could definitely go under. You never know. All it takes is one shot. And I pulled a little Bellator out of nowhere for Usman.
The real UFC fan.
Khabib's cousin. I'm not even going to try the last name. Khabib's cousin. He's going to be in his corner. The under's hitting. Someone's getting submitted. My power play, I love Meatball. I love Patty. And I like Mark DeCasey fantasy points because I think he comes out with a knockout in the first or second round, and that'll carry me over. And that's it.
Going heavy on the UK crowd. Heavy.
Yeah, Mark's from the UK as well, so he's going to be feeling it as well. So I think it's a good chance.